Hey, I'm Vishu from the UK OSINT Community, and today we'll be diving into Shodan. Shodan is often called the search engine for devices. While Google focuses on indexing websites, Shodan scans the internet looking for devices and services that are online. That could be anything from webcams, web servers, home routers, to industrial control systems or cloud servers. So you might be wondering why use Shodan in the first place. Well, it really depends on who you are. Cybersecurity experts use it to spot weaknesses before attackers do. Researchers use it to see how technology is being used around the world. For example, how many hospitals are still running outdated equipment. And of course, cybercriminals can use it to easily find systems that are poorly secured and easy to exploit. As you can see, Shodan currently crawls nearly 4,000 ports across the internet. Now, ports might sound technical, but here's an easy way to picture them. Think of a computer like an office building, and each port is a door to a specific department. For example, port 80 could be the reception desk for websites, and port 25 is the mailroom for email servers. Each number simply identifies a different service. When Shodan scans a device, it's basically walking down the hall, trying the doors, and seeing which ones are open and what's going on inside. In this video today, I'll be exploring how different Shodan queries work and how we could use it responsibly to better understand, discover, and secure assets over the internet. So let's dive straight in. If we wanted to find Nginx web servers, we can do so using this keyword. As you can see, there are a number of results here. To the left, we have the top countries that are utilizing this product, top ports, organizations, products, and top operating systems. If we wanted to view information about a specific host, we can do so by clicking on the entry. Here we have the IP address and details about that IP address, so specifically the country, the city, the organization, the ISP, and the ASN number. There's also a list of web technologies it picked up and a list of ports. You can also see if this data is accurate and up-to-date by looking at the last seen date. If I scroll past the ports, you will see more details about each individual port. So for example, here are the headers that were obtained from port 443. If you'd like, we can narrow down our search by utilizing filters, but do note you do need an account to use filters. So for example, we could narrow down our search and look for Nginx servers that are running on port 80 that are owned by Google. But what if we wanted to find hosts that are originating in the US? We can do so using the country filter, like so. And here it narrows down to 109,000 results. You can even go as far as filtering by cities, and of course products that look interesting. So for example, if you wanted to investigate IoT devices, you could filter by Philips Hue bridges. And here we have 65 results using the following filters. Now, if there was a 0-day vulnerability and we wanted to detect whether an instance is vulnerable or not, we could use versions as an indicator to do so. Now, this specific technique is very effective when identifying vulnerabilities and mapping a target's digital footprint without direct interaction. This chart shows historical trends of how many internet-exposed devices Shodan has detected over time for this specific product. Notice the spike in late 2022 and the fluctuations into 2025. This could reflect more devices being put online, changes in Shodan scanning coverage, or even security incidents leading to exposure. I see this data being really actionable for analysts because you can see patterns over months or years. Say you're tracking vulnerabilities or specific technologies. Spotting a sudden increase in devices helps you react early. If I scroll slightly down, we have another visual. This is a global heat map for our search. As you can see, in June 2023, the US dominates and continues to do so, followed by Sweden and Korea. This insight is really useful for security teams, specifically for regional threat intelligence. Say you're based in one of these countries, this will give you an idea on what kind of footprint attackers may target. Further to this, we can also track historical trends. This allows security researchers and organizations to see how exposure has changed over time. These insights make Shodan a valuable long-term intelligence tool, but not just a one-time scanner. One of the other features I'd like to go into before we move on to the CLI is Shodan Monitor. Now, this feature lets you keep an eye on your organization's digital footprint by continuously scanning your chosen IP ranges or networks. So for example, if I click on Manage Assets, I'm managing 2 domains. Now, instead of running manual searches, you'll get alerts whenever new services appear or disappear. This is incredibly useful for spotting misconfigurations, tracking shadow IT, and getting ahead of potential attackers before they even find you. So if we take the example from earlier and add a new search query, we would paste that query into this box here and enable notification services. So every time a new service that matches this product appears on the internet, we would be alerted via email. To manage rules for an existing asset, we would go back, click on the settings icon, scroll down, and you'll see a list of 11 trigger rules. Now, you could enable or disable any one of these depending on your preferences. Finally, let's dive into the Shodan CLI. This is useful over the website interface because it gives you automation, speed, and the ability to integrate results into scripts. Let's start by running the Shodan help command. Here you can see a list of available subcommands you could use. Before extracting any data, you'll need to connect the Shodan tool to your Shodan account, and you can do so using the Shodan init command, followed by your API key, like so. Now there are several quick data points we can gather from the Shodan CLI. So for example, if you'd like to find your public IP address, you could run the following. Or if you'd like to find the honey score of any given honeypot, you could run Shodan space honey score followed by your IP address. Now if we'd like to search for Windows OS devices, we can do so using the following command. As you can see, this returns matching results and banner snippets right in your terminal. So it lists IP, port, and of course banner information. A researcher could take this information and go away for further investigation. This is important now more than ever as Windows 10 is reaching end of life on the 14th of October. You can even download this data using the Shodan download command. So you'd have Shodan download, the name of your file, followed by the search query, and I'm going to limit the number of results to 5. Once it's been downloaded, we can extract this and convert it into a different file format. We can do so using the following command. In this video, we covered everything from setting up Nginx, filtering results, exploring historical trends, monitoring assets, and even using the Shodan CLI. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future content. Thanks again for watching, and see you next time.